Welcome to MVP, the Messiah Victory Podcast, the #1 WELS Lutheran podcast in Wichita, Kansas. Hosted by pastors John Rockhoff and Jake Jenswold, MVP is your go-to destination for lively conversation on hot topics with a biblical perspective. They'll also be talking about what's going on currently at Messiah and Victory churches. It's episode 8, and we're making up for lost time with this bonus-sized show. Today, the pastors are discussing worship style. Is there a correct way to conduct services, and how much should that matter when choosing a church? Also, believe it or not, we'll have a couple book recommendations and maybe a silly movie too.
We got a power surge. We lost power. It's kind of coming on partially. That's why we look a little bit more dimmed, which, people have told us we have.
It's good for some of us.
We have faces for radio. So this maybe this more of a darkened atmosphere and mood might play a little better here. So it's been a while. We've been holidays and just busyness and a little bit of sickness and everything coming in here. So those of you that have been clicking on and finding the old ones and saying when's a new one coming out and getting so frustrated because you're subscribers and you're not getting new content, that's not on a producer. That's more or less on us. So So we're squeezing one in here, and updates what's going on. Post-Christmas activities. Back to, on the west side, some classes, more of the normal, some online classes, some confirmation classes, big annual meeting, which could be postponed due to Snowmageddon, but by the time you get this podcast, you will know. You will know if we postponed it. So we're not breaking any news here. And
Snowmageddon. So, okay, maybe the fun part then is predict now. How many inches are we getting? And will it be as bad as they say?
Over under of 12, because
Wow, I'm under all day long.
We
you
love,
gotta set that number better.
We love with our weather forecasters to have something that moves them up to the lead story of the newscast. So could get 12 inches of snow. Well, usually means about 3, but I don't know, we could be wrong.
I'm going to make it interesting. Your number is 5.5.
5.5. So that's what the over-under is.
Over-under.
5.5.
Where are you going? Over? Under?
In your comments, put it in your comments, and you will have a random prize for someone, won't you? No, we don't do prizes.
No,
so.
but I'm going under. I'm setting it at 5.5, and I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen the flow charts on the Weather Channel.
It looks crazy.
It could come in. Well, of course, I would like to say we never canceled church here, although I was pressed into doing it once. Was it last year, year before with ice or something? I still like to think that I never want to cancel church. So we go with what we have, and granted, we want people to be safe. I always think, if something would happen, and you were taken from this world because you tried to get to church, and you're standing at the pearly gates, and God says, well, why should I let you into my kingdom? You certainly say because of Jesus, but you do know how I died. I was going to church.
I was on my way.
I was on my way to church. So I think
on my way there.
So, I would personally take my chances, but, I'm a pastor, so I don't know if that's solid advice or not. But
I mean, I've canceled it a couple times. For snow and ice.
Us more experienced,
not here.
More experienced men have gone through with whatever we can go. So
right, and you preached it.
Yeah, I'm working that sermon up not for nothing. So
someone's going to hear this.
Someone's going to hear it. Might not be many. And I do the Saturday night thing, so a lot of people, like from the COVID days, can just jump on and watch the Saturday night one. Events on your side. Just what's going on.
What is going on? I mean, it's cold outside. There's not a lot going on.
You're trying.
I think the next one we're planning is Easter. Is what we're looking at. It's really what
which is amazing that Lent's going to be starting up next month, and it's not a late Easter. It's the first Sunday in April, I think. So that's not. It's not. If it's in March, you always think, "Wow, that's way early." Then you think should be in April, but.
Yeah, first week in April sounds right for Easter,
yeah, April
right?
sounds right, yeah. It should be a little warm. So.
It shouldn't be the end of April. That seems way too long.
So you got up north a little bit, got some vacation in, although you got sick, but but you've recovered.
Yeah, I've recovered, mostly.
I personally went up to see my son and daughter-in-law and the grandbaby. My wife still had the hip surgery. And we found out she had the different kind of hip surgery that needs 6 to 8 weeks as opposed to 1 to 2 weeks recovery, which who knows why they didn't tell us this, but complicated.
Wow.
It's whether they cut through the muscle or not. When I had mine, they didn't. When they had my wife's, they cut through the muscle, which you can imagine cutting through a muscle requires a lot more physical therapy. So she didn't feel as if she'd be up to going. She's going to go by herself. So I got to go up and, grandbaby was almost, she's going to be 2 in February. Wow. But no, that was fun. I was getting away for just a few days. So we both got little vacations in. So
that seems like an awfully big one for the doctor not to mention,
Which my son, who has a classmate who is a doctor in Alaska, asked him about it. And he said, it's kind of how they're trained. And if they do it the one way, that's just how they do it. And the avoiding the muscle, which is what I had, which another member of ours, Carol, had it. She said that her doctor said he was the one that kind of pioneered this. It's not that widespread, but it sure does. It almost lets you walk out of the hospital with a cane, which is amazing. Which me, assuming that's the kind of care I would have to give to my wife, 1 to 2 weeks, was in for the shocker when it's been now 5 weeks plus. And I'm not the best caregiver. I don't know if you probably are shocked by that, but
No.
Yeah. So I was thinking, what's going on here? And it was 2 or 3 weeks in when we discovered that, well, she had a different kind of surgery. So
well, hopefully she's feeling better.
She's walking around with the cane. She gets around. She can drive. So she's she's doing better. But physical therapy a couple times a week kind of kicks her tail a little bit.
Hopefully she doesn't have that on Saturdays.
Yeah. So
won't happen this Saturday.
I almost saw a werewolf. You want to hear that? You want to hear the story?
Been waiting for it.
Well, okay, that's
for it.
I've got this little dog, Elsie, a little Shorky dog, that she's finally, after 3 years, learned to bark when she has to go potty. However, that can occur at any time of the day. And it was about 2 in the morning. And yes, there are times that I may push it to stay up late, but this was one that maybe I don't remember. And so I took her outside, and this was probably a couple weeks ago. Perfectly calm evening. And you know how they say you kind of manifest things, make it happen? But I was in my mind as I'm waiting for the dog. She, takes her time. I go, this would be a great horror film setting for like a werewolf to come out. I'm not kidding. And because I was thinking that, I go, it's perfectly calm. There's no wind. It's just like you can hear. It's just eerily quiet. And then I hear this. It was like on cement or on the cul-de-sac. And I go, something's coming. And I couldn't see it. I go, what is it? And bolting around the back of my vehicles in the driveway was what I say is a fox. And it was 5 feet from us because it didn't see us. It came around and actually did a U-turn right in front of us. And now my description, that it was the size of a mid-sized dog, has told people that said that's a coyote. And I said it had like a big tail. And I do have pictures on my phone of a fox that was in this area once. But it all of a sudden it ran over to the neighbor, it ran across the cul-de-sac, and then it ran in another neighbor's. I could hear it trying to get over a wooden fence, trying to jump the fence. As I was thinking about it, I was wondering, was it on 2 legs? Because there's the werewolf theory. But it was 2 in the morning. I don't know. I don't think it was, but it happened so quickly.
Did you see it on 2 legs?
Then the coyote/fox ran to your neighbor's door and started barking. And it was really weird.
And it was transforming, I could tell, from the human state into the werewolf state.
Obviously.
And I right away thought, do I have a silver bullet? And I thought,
so it didn't go after your little dog?
No, it did not go after the little dog. And when I came back to my senses, I said, I don't think it was ever on 2 legs. But I do think it was still a fox. And so my neighbor, Adam, I said, hey, you got the Zoom footage. They said they'd check. I haven't got an update. But he said, sometimes when he gets up to work out, he says, oh, I've seen that fox. Whoa, there's confirmation. He says, oh yeah, it's running around. What is it doing? We're next to those wetlands, and whoa, we got like that.
Let there be.
Now we're good. But we got those wetlands and everything, so I'm thinking, does it come down from there? Where's it coming from? Sedgwick County Park, that's a ways to our place. But the housing took over that fox den area where there used to be foxes.
Wow,
where'd they go?
Where'd
they go? So what's it doing running around a cul-de-sac?
Eating small dogs.
Yeah.
The dog didn't even budge. I think the dog was as stunned as I was because it happened very quickly. So back off a little bit on the idea it has on two legs. That might be me just groggy sitting there, thinking werewolves could be out now tonight. But no, that was my, thrill for the evening. That was a couple Sundays ago. It was Sunday night. So
that'll get your heart pounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've turned off by now, we understand. But
Absolutely.
we should probably talk about something here.
If you're still with us,
If you still,
that's
if you even hit the hey, they got a new podcast
Crazy.
episode, then. And if you
too much.
if you is it smash that if you already smashed that button.
Don't do it again because you'll unsubscribe.
Whoa! Do not because you're on and off, on and off, on and off. So do not do that.
Smash it
So
once.
if you're subscribing, does that mean when we do one, it pops up on your feed that there's a new podcast? Is that what it means?
Sometimes.
We don't even know.
It kind of doesn't even matter anymore, I guess. Like on YouTube, like they don't. It's too much to go and do here, but.
Well, okay, I
But
guess
it's still good to have people subscribe.
It's all algorithms
So,
and
yes,
AI.
you still want to do that because you don't win anything. It's just I did not want you had annoying pop-ups.
What? No, it's not. Nothing like that.
This shouldn't be annoying.
Like you're not saying you're a follower or anything. I don't want to bring up that follower that I just got on my phone, right, over lunch. We don't want to bring
Probably
that up.
not.
No, okay, we don't want to bring that up because we're kind of wondering if our producer ever edits anything because it seems like most of what we talk about goes through, which we did. Which we got to admit, Leanne, over lunch we were a little concerned about that because everything goes through, so we got to be very careful.
Not everything. I mean, if there's something wildly inappropriate, there usually isn't.
How wildly inappropriate do you think we're about to get?
That's why.
I mean, what kind of boundaries are we pushing here to finally have you cut us out of
When
something?
you realize you said
Yikes.
something, tell me now, and then I'll go find out. But otherwise,
Well, I think people are all documenting our weights by now. So because we had the episode where it was pretty much disclosed.
well, what about your follower? What?
No.
Okay,
It's really way too much explanation, and probably would be cut.
We'll put
probably
that
would
on
be cut.
the Patreon.
Yeah, that's on the extended.
Which we don't have.
We're not doing extended versions yet because patrons. How do you get to be a patron of us? You got to send money.
Can't right now.
Oh, we don't
It's
have
not
that.
really set up.
I didn't know if we reached that stage yet because
This whole segment might get cut out.
I was told I thought we did 8 episodes and someone said, Pastor, you've only done 7. Like, well, it seems like we've done 8. So we got extra ones in the hopper to do. So okay, so the serious side of what we got to talk about, and I mean we're again open on topics, but we talked about some things at lunch. One of the things we talked about is the balance you have to have in the style of worship that you have, and to have where, with introducing especially a new hymnal that does have some more modern and contemporary hymns, that you have a group of people that will say they want the old standards, the chorales, the ones that they've sung for years. But then you also have people, why do we sing those all the time? I like the new ones better. You throw some of the new hymns in, and then all of a sudden the new hymns, well, that was a little difficult. We don't like those, whereas some people say you do. Recently, I was told that someone was turned off by our Catholic style of worship, which I thought, is that the singing back and forth with the pastor singing with the congregation? Is it singing of the Psalms?
I think so.
Probably so, because we have a liturgical church.
Yeah.
Which means we follow an order of service, which is not the norm for many of the contemporary churches, that it's usually praise song, message, praise song, two praise songs.
Yeah, 2 praise songs,
and then kind of you're out. And so I've had, when people have come from that background, some have said we were interested in, and some have said we appreciated an order or style of worship. I should say more liturgical style. So my question is, if someone says, I don't know if I could worship there because I don't know if I 100% appreciate or am in line with the style of worship, what do we say to people that say, I think I might be church shopping because of it?
It's a good question, and we did talk about this at lunch a little bit. The thing that worship suddenly starts to take the headline there of like, oh yeah, I can just find a style that I like and it's all equal, right? But like doctrine first, right? Like doctrine, what are you going to hear on a Sunday morning has got to be here. And then style can be somewhere down here. And you know what? It's like you said, the pastor is not trying to pick a style that you don't enjoy. He has however many people sitting out there who all prefer a little something different, right? And so how do you possibly win? How do you possibly accommodate everyone when one person is going to like it and one person is not going to like every decision that you make? So maybe instead of worrying about those decisions, we can just get back to the word that's being spoken, right? Like, that's so huge, because I can go someplace that will keep me entertained, and there's plenty of places like that. Or I can go somewhere where I trust what is being preached from the pulpit, and I think that we're forgetting. I teach this in Bible information class, and I'm sure that you do too. Like, the purpose of worship, the Bible has not given us a prescription for how to worship, but there certainly are some principles that we should keep in mind when we're putting it together. And I think one of the big ones is let the people participate in worship. And I think sometimes some of the newer music is wonderful. Some of the newer styles of worship and the new music, you're an observer of a worship service that's going on, not a participant in a worship service that's going on, right?
If you go back over 30 years to the hymnal before the 93 hymnal came out in our church body, it was page 5 or page 15. Communion was 15, and there are some people that they loved that they would have that every time. And I remember even the slight, moderate changes to 93 hymnal. It was, well, that seems different. And someone said, I like it when I don't have to use my hymnal, and this makes me have to use it. And I did a little test in Bible class once. I said, what are you saying when you sing this part? What are you actually saying? Think about, you know how it goes, you know the words. Tell me real quick what the message is there. And it was kind of stunning how people said, someone said, now that I have to read it, I know what I'm singing. Because otherwise, it's kind of like, we fall into it. Come, Lord Jesus. Do we think of that all the time? The Lord's Prayer. Luther said it's the most beat up prayer there is because people don't think when they pray it. So if you're having an order of service that they have to follow, and you make some adjustments, which this present, what we use now with printing it out, and I do make adjustments. I put different songs in for different parts. I have told people if there's a hymn that you find troublesome, you don't have to sing it out loud, but read the words, and you're going to find out that, wow, we might pick hymns that have to do with the theme of the day or with our sermon. And maybe the music is not the primary thing. Although someone asked me, do you listen to the music? And I go, yes, I have the program where I can hear every hymn that I play. And I said, there are some where, I said, you don't understand how many we do say, no, that probably won't fly because it's too difficult. And we do have, there are some helps now that will actually say, here's some good hymns for the day. Here's some ones that are probably a little bit more difficult. And so you try to, say, well, we could sing that, or we have sung that, or you say, all right, I'm going to put these out here. And what you're saying, you said it, that Jesus never taught us the style of worship. It doesn't say much about it, but he says 100% the substance. If you hold to my teaching, I just preached on that, then you're really my disciple. Not if you worship a certain way. And to be quite honest, for someone to say, well, I think I'm going to go to a church where I have I like more their style. It's a little selfish when you say the church has got to conduct service exactly as I want it, or else I'll go elsewhere. And I'm thinking, you're giving up. You have nothing against what's being preached. And I've told people, as pastors, we're not cruise ship directors where we will provide the fun for you. And I was thinking just the other day that if you have the worship experience that equates to going to a concert, where you're singing the songs, you can't even sit down, you're so excited because it's all familiar songs, how long does that feeling last? You might the next day say that was kind of fun, and maybe people when they bring it up, oh yeah, that was good, but there's no substance there. I mean, that's the experience. And I think a lot of our churches, there's no foundation, and they'll get fired up for a little while, but they'll come back the next week to be entertained. And we're not entertainers. And I think that's what we're missing on the Christian landscape these days. We're not out to entertain. We want a service that people can say, I participated in, I learned from, and that I was able to praise God. And I have members that right away will say, yeah, that last hymn, and that's okay. And I'll kind of sometimes go, yeah, I know.
Not my favorite.
Not my favorite, but
Sure. The message was there.
But you have the message, and we don't sing A Mighty Fortress every Sunday to say, there you go, or some people would say, I'd love it if you did. And it's just what are you choosing a church on? And I hope it's always on doctrine. And you hope the things that are under it, the congregational life, the classes, or like the fellowship opportunity, you hope that is something that you can enjoy. And you can. And I think, as long as you're not tunnel vision, you can find things that you'll enjoy. But you put at the top the substance. Do they preach the word here? And if then you're going to say, I'm going to go to another church because I felt different there, well, do they preach the word?
Especially if you know that they don't, right? Like, or that they preach things that aren't biblical or that you don't agree with. Right?
Sure.
Like that even makes it a little tougher to go like, yeah, I understand that they don't really understand, salvation by grace alone, but their music is awesome, right? It's almost it's as silly as like, yeah, but they got really comfy chairs, right? Like I love sitting there.
But the music is turned up to 11. Some of them, the shocker is how loud. The music is, and there's been things even proven. As far as how our bodies respond, or our makeup responds to certain things. But it's also, if people would look at the complete picture, it doesn't last. The turnover rate in Pentecostal charismatic churches is the highest because that's experiential.
When the feeling goes away.
Yeah. Here's what we as Lutheran Christians, we're going to build you that foundation, because you're not going to every day jump out of bed being on fire for the Lord, and that's okay, but you have a foundation, and you build on that. And I have said, sure, we as Lutherans can maybe put a smile on our face a little bit more often, the stoic German background that we have. We could, exhibit our faith a little bit more, and we can work on that. But we have a foundation, and if you don't have that, and you go, man, I got to get to church. Oh, I felt so great last night, but that wears off, and you don't have anything, because our emphasis is always going to be on the cross and what Jesus has done. It's not going to be on how you feel about it, because we don't always feel on fire. And that doesn't mean I'm all of a sudden not a Christian that day. And I go back to, but God's promises are sure.
Yeah.
And
it's objective versus subjective, right?
Yeah.
Like, is my faith a subjective experience that I'm constantly looking for the next feeling, like, oh, now I know I'm close to God, because now I feel it, right? Or is my relationship with my God steady because He's made objective promises to me, right? And if you want more information on any of this, I'm plugging a book right now, Has American Christianity Failed by Brian Wolfmiller. It's a great one if you would like something to read that really goes a lot deeper into what we're sort of scratching the surface of right now.
Yeah.
But it's really a good thing to think about.
Coincidentally, I had the children confirmation, the third commandment about worship the Sabbath day, and we talked about the passage of why we come to worship. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, which I always state is people fall away from church is usually because of a habit. It's not that they instantly reject all the teachings, but they get in a bad habit. So as a board of elders, we try to get people away from that. But let us encourage one another. So here's this weird thing. When you come and say, well, I just didn't, the music just bothered me, or I didn't really like the songs. You being there, you're there to be an encouragement to others. It's not just for you. It's not God and you, the straight line tunnel vision. That's all. You're coming together as the body of Christ, and there is a lot to that you're joining together with people that believe as you do, and you're worshiping God. And sure, maybe, that wasn't my favorite hymn, but don't let that soil everything else of what you're doing on a Sunday morning. When you bail from that because you personally feel that you have to be edified or energized more by the music, wow. you're not looking outside yourself, and I think that is selfish.
No, it's really you're hitting a lot of my buzz topics here. Yeah, I've even told people before that you being in church on Sunday might not be for you. Like, just by way of example, the mother who is wrestling 2 little kids and who maybe gets the confession of sins and absolution, but doesn't get to listen to the sermon because Junior's doing whatever, and maybe walks out of there feeling like, I feel like I didn't get anything from that. But for those kids to see that this is an important thing to mom or to dad, right? Like maybe it was for them. Maybe it was the person sitting. I'll tell you from the front, there have been times I've watched someone walk in that I haven't seen in church in a while, and it did good for me, right? Or watch 5 people walk in and suddenly the church is full, and all of a sudden my faith grows, right? Like, so sometimes you being there, even though you may walk away and go, oh boy, I don't even know if I got anything from that. You maybe were there for someone else that day, right? Like that. Let us not give up encouraging one another, but all the more as we see the day approaching.
See, one of my sometimes shut-in members come in with the walker and struggling to get in with a walker, but wants to be here. Speaks volumes to other people.
Yeah,
as well.
Big time.
Here they are, just getting out of the car and coming in.
There's something to being present.
And we take communion to them, walk up to them instead of them coming forward, because that's, and I think that means something to people, and that's what the being a church family, which I think is what our church is. I used to shy away from calling it, hey, this is our church family, but it is, and it becomes that. And you can become part of that family rather easily because people want to bring you in and they want to absorb you, but you can also block it out, and then you're going to find something. And maybe the worship style is an easy mark to say, it's not what I'm used to. I don't feel comfortable. We're going to look elsewhere, without any mention of because we don't believe as you do.
Right.
Which
you probably do still believe.
I would respect that if they'd say we have some doctrinal differences.
Sure.
Great. You want to talk about them? We can talk about them, but I'm not going to force you. I'll say this is what we believe from God's Word. But when they talk about, well, we just... we just don't feel whatever. I mean, it's happened, and it's always tough for me because I think exactly what we're talking about. It's just a tough thing to say. Really, you're putting style way above substance, and to do that, never mentioned in Scripture. Jesus never tells us how to worship. So, I just received something in the mail randomly sent by a church down in Oklahoma. One of those they just send it to churches, that talked about the reason you should not use any musical instruments in worship. And they kind of made the case because God tells us how to worship and never talks about that. I'm thinking about, was there mention of instruments after the crossing of the Red Sea? I was thinking of that, but then think of David playing music and the Psalms being set to music.
Make a joyful noise on the harp, on the lyre.
I didn't have time to read. It's one of those where, okay, this goes on forever.
We should also apparently be dancing, because it does mention dancing for joy before the Lord.
But it was someone making a statement as to, let me explain why we don't use and we shouldn't use any kind of musical instruments, which is just an argument from silence, they were trying to say. And I said, well, it's not really silent at all.
It's an argument from a very loud silence.
And I thought, so what is your point really to send this out to random churches that we all would go, boy, they got a good point. We got to get rid of our organ.
Piano.
Yeah. So today we're singing everything a cappella. So again, if the power goes out again because of Snowmageddon.
Then we will be.
We had one year, and it was coincidentally, it was Good Friday. We had a service of darkness where all the power went out. On Good Friday.
Fitting.
And I think, didn't we had a piano or something that we could play on, but it was pretty much without anything, and it was in darkness.
Wow.
And there are people that remember that because they said, it was like not by choice. We
we should maybe start buying pianos that are pianos again.
I know, not these electric ones that you have to. I think we had an old one that we brought down here, and we actually maybe used that, but to actually have a service of darkness because the Lord wanted us to have one. It was kind of interesting. So, I don't know. That's just a topic, kind of a current thing that talk about. So, what else you got?
Well, I don't know. I want to check out that book. I'm going to look at it. And
you should.
Have you looked at your book yet?
You know who has my book? You know who has my book? No.
Oh.
Thomas.
Oh!
I took it up to show him,
Well-
and so my wife actually wrote a whole Bible study, which she probably used AI to do, coincidentally, and she had it all outlined, and she goes, there, you could do like 4 lessons that we should, and then she mentioned a book club. This, the name of the book again, Leanne? Or you have
Are we all cyborgs now?
Are we all
Are we all
cyborgs now?
cyborgs now?
It's on the use of AI, and in our...
And not just AI.
But-
it's very good. It's like, I actually learned about it because the Brian, what's his name?
Wolf Miller?
Yeah, he interviewed the guy who wrote it, or one of
Interesting.
the guys. Yeah.
And my wife
Very
has said
interesting.
she's going to order another one because she said Thomas wanted to use it.
Well,
so
she thought it looked interesting. That's what she told my mom.
Oh, she was all over it one afternoon, sending me all these Bible studies. Here, you could do this, this, and this. And then she said we should at least maybe have a book club on it, because I said it's a rather large book to do. Maybe we could do a Bible study on the topic, but I don't know if I'd, to order a book for everyone, 400 some pages is probably not ideal. But we always
that's a big
offer
book.
it if they want to. Be happy to do it. We'll tell them the price. But Thomas was interested, and I said, when I went up there to my son, I said, you can, look this over, and so Deb says she's going to find another copy for us. 'Cause she's kind of
Yeah,
interested.
that's good that you gave it to an intellectual Rockhoff. So,
That's style over substance.
yeah,
That's-
100%.
Well, you gotta read it. So.
Yes.
it's taken from me, but
400
I
pages.
hear we're getting another one. So
Okay,
think-
okay, if you're getting...
I am a
Think he's
reader.
read a 400-page book?
What did I say to you as soon as I saw it? Are there pictures in here? There's not a single picture in here. It's 400 pages. What is this, Ulysses from my college experience? I'm still scarred.
I haven't finished it yet because because I read different things and I have like different anyway. But
You got Cliff Notes or anything from it? So.
no, don't.
Oh, well,
You-
I did take an English literature class in college. Confessionally, I can say I probably didn't read all the stuff, but I did pass.
Wow,
Made it.
how ironic considering what the book talks about. But anyway, it's
Well, maybe I'm not the one to be teaching on it, because I go, wait a minute, this is what I do.
it's hard. Well, I don't want to talk to you guys too much because
you
people can't hear me very well.
Well, they hear you all the
Right.
time.
and also, I don't have
loud,
much to say.
You come in loud
but-
and clear. They say, who's that in the background? I go, I don't know. It's just peanut gallery stuff. So.
Well, I need to get my thoughts gathered on it, but it's just like once you read it, you'll.
I
It's
will
not
look it
probably just like one Bible study.
I know, and that's where she had like 4 of them. I go, this book is.
It's beyond that.
I don't know. I really think she used AI to get the Bible
like-
study, which I thought.
Which
Because I said, I don't think she could have come. Maybe I'm selling her short, because I thought, well, it looks like a properly standard outlined little Bible class here, but maybe that was her.
You want me
Honey,
to
if you're
start
watching this,
writing?
I'm sorry, but
Pretty impressive. If she
I'll
did.
start writing Bible classes if you're open to it.
I don't know if I'm
Done.
taking Bible classes from the crowd, but I've asked for opinions on some. Sometimes I've given choices and say, "What'd you like to do?" And it's always
I do
contemporary
that
issues.
every single time I finish one. I go,
You ask?
what do you want to study?
So it's always
wanna do what
contemporary
you wanna
issues.
study.
Do you give them what they want or what they need? Is what I always think. But yeah, that's boy, the whole AI thing is kind of remarkable.
I'll have to see if I can find the audio book. I like to listen while I drive.
Yeah. I actually am surprised how well I would do with those too. But no, it's a good one. Just to surprise my son, wanted to keep it. So I thought, I can get another one. So yeah, so we've done our book plugs. You both have done yours. What am I reading? Well, just,
Whoa.
who knows? Who knows what I'm reading? Just
You got a movie,
The
right?
Beckett
Banana
sports
Splits.
card.
yeah, Banana Splits movie. Many
good.
of you don't know the Banana Splits. It's a kids show from the late '60s. Was on for like 30 episodes. The Saturday morning was the golden time when we'd wake up and we just watched cartoons. The only thing got us out of bed. And then you knew the new season was coming on, and if it had 4 people or 4 creatures, 4 Rockhoffs, we were always one of them. I could tell you which of the banana. I was Schmeagol, so he's the dog. But if you watch the Banana Splits, there's a theme song, and I taught it to the youth group against their will, and so they can't get it out of their heads. And I even made it my ringtone, so if my phone goes off, it plays the Banana Splits theme song. And then
I guess I never knew you were such a massive fan of the Banana
well,
Splits.
you probably don't know what you're going to look at. You're going to Google it when you get out of here.
I probably will.
The interesting thing was, I also, kind of some of the horror genre of movies I, kind of watch. I shy away from the occult type things, but there's other kind out there. If you got zombies, well, I talked about this. I'm in. Well, I saw that it was somewhere on Netflix or something. There was a Banana Splits movie, like 5-6 years ago, and I'm all over that. Well, who got the rights to something 40, 50 years old, and they made it into a slasher horror movie that these animatron Banana Splits characters, their show was getting canceled, and they just went nuts.
Wow, that's...
And I had to purchase it.
That's exactly
because I
like
found
you
it and I
remember it.
purchased it. I watched it the other day again, and I was kind of laughing through it because I go, "This is so bad." And it was just like, first of all, who remembers except me the Banana Splits?
Yeah.
And then you make them into these.
Seems like a really niche market to try to hit there. Like former Banana
They got
Splits
him.
fans
Just
who
so you know,
are also horror.
one of them became good at the end, and kind of saved like one kid from getting slashed.
As
so.
happens.
So as far as movie
It was
reviews,
Schmiegel, and that's how you knew.
no, Schmiegel went bad. Schmiegel, what is it? Schmiegel and Bingo and Drooper and Snorkel.
You made that up.
No, I did not make it up. Any of you, Banana Splits. It's from 68 to 70, 32 episodes only of the Banana Split show. And make sure it's on. They have an album on Spotify. I'm not kidding. The kids found it. They have a whole album. They do. See, the thinking was at that time the Monkees. Remember the show The Monkees, where Takeoff of the Beatles, and they actually could play some musical instruments, not many. The one guy just played tambourine pretty much the whole time.
That's me.
So they made the show, and a comedy show, the background, because I read Wikipedia. And the Banana Splits was supposed to be kind of like they were going to be like a band and have songs, even though they're just in costumes. They're not playing anything, but they have a whole album that's on Spotify that the kids in the youth group found. And I go, "You got to be kidding me," because they said right away, I said, "You got to find the Banana Splits theme song." They go, "It's on Spotify," and they said, "This is an album." But see, that never kind of didn't really take off. The Monkees do the Banana Splits.
Boy, I'm shocked.
And probably you guys recommend books. I'm recommending the Banana Splits movie. I don't know what I think it's called.
Movie.
I think it's called the
not
Banana
even the
Splits
show.
movie.
Okay.
I think purchases of Night of the Living Deb from our first podcast probably took off.
Skyrocketed. They sold like 3 copies.
tripled their sales.
Yeah.
So we always thought we'd have a little bit of movie book review. So look, we actually got that in now. So,
Movies and books.
you guys do the books, and I'll give you the movies I'm watching. So just the Bananas. But you mentioned it. You brought it up. So, and there's a ringtone. You can get it, and it's on my phone.
I did not mention it at all.
She said the
I'll tell you that right now.
She said the Banana Splits,
Oh, okay.
and it triggered it.
There we
And I
go.
go, well, we need some filler. That's some good filler. So,
Do we though?
Did we?
yeah, you stretch it to 2 episodes, maybe. I have one on the whole one on Banana Splits and werewolves.
Banana Splits episode.
And werewolves, one that has no spiritual content in, which we never promise everything. We leave it wide open. So maybe is this going to get out before Snowmageddon? Probably not, huh?
Not before.
I doubt it.
Because people need something to watch during
We'll
So
see what I can do.
because right now they're out getting their toilet paper and their snow shovels and bread, because what you said, it could be a day to a week, people without electricity, and we just lost it here, so it's already coming.
It's already happening.
Maybe it's a test run. How do people
Like,
survive?
duh, do you have your eggs? The power's out.
I know, because you can't have breakfast, can't have French toast. You got bread and eggs and
Milk.
toilet paper, because boy, you need that. So just really kind of a weird thing.
I actually agree with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but to see them with like 2 of the big bundles going out there, like
It's not going to go to waste. I promise you that much.
Yeah.
are you going to sell it in the black market? We back to the COVID days, people selling toilet paper online and hand sanitizer. Remember those days? Are just like jacking the prices. No, it's just going to be a little bit of snow, and you're going under 5.5.
Under 5.5.
I think it's a dusting.
Wow, we're
I
all the
think
way down to a
it's-
dusting.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I like to divide into whatever the weather people say, because that's pretty safe. So
Now the cold, we'll see about. But it is supposed to be, it is supposed to be singles. So
what do you let your faucets drip around here? And I will add that not only do we have a cat house, like a cat warmer house, because I think we went through that. My wife bought the cat warmer house because Sydney had one,
For
and
the
Deb
fox.
says it's on the that werewolf would not fit in there. That baby's going to walk right into our house.
he
Probably.
might try.
We also now, because the dilemma was the water bowls are freezing outside. What did I notice just like a day ago? We have a heated water bowl now that's also plugged in outside. So My theory.
Your stray cats have better stuff than my dog ever did.
And close our deck and heat it, and just let that be the stray cat house. So
cat sanctuary.
So they'll be fine. They've got water. They've got a house. I have to put food out every day for the stray cats.
Did you connect Netflix to their little house for them? They're gonna be bored while they're.
They have movies, movie night. The worst thing is, and it's only happened once, is when I opened up the little house thing to put some food in there, that Penelope, the resident stray cat, if such a thing exists, jumped out at me. And
she's not so stray anymore.
It was almost like that scene from Elf where the squirrel or whatever jumped out. Yeah, you little thing, it missed me. But I thought, whoa! So now I open the side door now because I'm not opening the top and having some rabid raccoon jump on me. Because we used to have a camera out there, and that would make an episode if we had just had that camera on and me getting attacked by some rabid raccoon on the front deck. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. You'll hear about it here first. If it does, well, not first, but you'll hear about it here. Because I'll probably tell a lot of people before it gets broadcast. A lot of people know the werewolf story. So, well, On that note, we've got things to do. Believe it or not, have a good week, blessed week, and when we got something else to tell you about, spiritual, or just
werewolf related,
day in the life,
then you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, you'll hear it here. So, good. Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Messiah Victory podcast. Check out the show notes or video description to find our websites, socials, and the anonymous survey link where you can ask questions, request a topic for discussion, or just leave a comment.